As you've been building out your social media platforms and followers, have you ever felt like you are just out of content ideas and you just can't come up with any more ideas? And the few things you are putting out there aren't getting a lot of engagement? Well, you're in for a special treat. Today, I'm going to show you my signature method for coming up with endless content ideas where you can create a whole year's worth of your own content calendar that's very specific to you. And all of that content will get higher levels of engagement where dozens or even hundreds of people are raising their hands saying, interested, tell me more, send me info, send me the deets. And all you have to do then is keep your promise and reach out to those people and give them exactly what they've already asked for, because now everyone is coming to you. Well, today I'm going to show you my signature trick for how I massively explode the content I share on social media. And I consistently keep 9 platforms fed at all times without it being that much work. So let's jump in. Let's do this.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining Decoding Network Marketing, the non-sleaze way to build your business, your teams, and generate buyers beyond your family and friends. I am your host, Mary Ladisa, and thank you so much for joining us. You know what? You took a big step by joining us today, taking time out for yourself to pour into you, grow your business, and learn some new tips and strategies. Today, we're going to talk about content, and we have a special guest with us. We have Adrienne Hill, and she's going to show us her content multiplier method. But before we get started, a little bit about me. I am a network marketing professional, and I've been in the business on both the product and service side for a little bit over 10 years. And like many of you, I got started simply because my time is valuable and my 9 to 5 was just sucking the life out of me. You know, the things that I loved, like my family, was just getting away from me. I was spending too much time in the office. And so I sought a way to generate more income on a residual basis. And guess what, guys? When I found something that worked for me, I jumped in and I haven't looked back. And so, like many of you, I'm thinking in this audience today, you're probably just starting. You're probably starting and haven't done much, or you're in a position where, okay, I'm on fire, and what's next? And so, this is the interview series for you. So, I have one request, and that is get a pencil and a piece of paper and walk away with at least one nugget that you'll hear from Adrienne today that you can apply in your business right away. So we're ready to hear from Adrienne. Everybody, Adrienne Hill, how are you?
Hi, guys. It's so good to see you. And it's so nice to be here with you, Mary. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's just jump right in. We're talking about content, but before we get to the content, let's talk about our audience, the people that we are trying to reach. When many of us, we fear that prospecting, speaking to people, how do we overcome that? Is how do we get people to know what we have and that it's for them?
Yeah. So, and I also started in the network marketing space. So I get it, you guys. I've been there. And, it's funny because when you first get started, you hear a lot of advice that's just like, talk to everyone in your network, talk to all your friends and family, tell them what you're doing. But you realize pretty quickly that that pool of people dries up, and then it's like, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I'm here to tell you, like, there's good news, right? There is what I would call like the next phase of your business that you need to break into. And the quicker you do it, the more success you're going to have. Okay. And that's the content creation phase. If you are a content creator, and especially if you're creating value-based attraction marketing style content, it's going to attract people to you who are just naturally curious about what you're doing. And you're going to start getting lots of engagement on your content that sounds like, what is it that you're talking about? I'd like to know more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Or the thing you talked about today, I need that. Can you message me? I mean, imagine how different your business would feel if instead of you like reaching out to all your friends and family and like bugging them, right? If you had people reaching out to you. Smart content creation is what creates that pull, and it's what creates people reaching out to you. And that's when business starts to feel really fun, honestly.
I like that concept.
Yes. That's
So,
what we want.
so how do we make that happen? How do we create this content?
Like,
Yeah,
where does it start? How do we begin?
yeah, yeah.
So, first step, I encourage everyone as you start getting into content creation, find a way to systematize it, right? If you can batch your work and you can systematize your work, number one, you're going to be more efficient, right? You're going to have more time on your hands, but you're also going to be smarter in the types of content you're creating because you're being very intentional about it from the beginning. What I run into a lot is people who are moving into this phase and they're kind of just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Sure.
And it kind of just leads to like a hot mess. So I would love to just cut all that frustration out for you guys. We'll skip that frustration side and we'll go right to the good stuff. How about that?
Sure. Love
Okay,
it.
awesome. So I recommend systematizing your process. And so that's what I've done. The method that I've created, the content multiplier method, is how I have streamlined and systematized the content creation process. And so the first part that I teach is how to just systematically come up with the ideas themselves, right? Have you ever sat down to write a post and you're like drumming your fingers like, oh, what do I talk about today? Like, have you ever just hit that blank, like writer's block of like, what do I even talk about? So what I teach in my content multiplier method is basically I teach people how to come up with 2 weeks of content ideas in 30 minutes or less.
Nice.
So if you can systematize the like ideation process itself, instead of sitting there with writer's block and feeling all this pressure, it's actually going to give you this amazing free feeling in your business. And I recommend doing this in 2 different ways. Like, I want you to think about the types of posts or the types of topics you could talk about, live video post, it doesn't really matter, related to your personal brand, as well as those related to your offers. Okay. And we could probably go down a rabbit hole of personal branding, and we don't have time for that today. So let me just encourage you to pick like 3 to 5 topics that represent your personal brand. And basically what I teach people to do, and I go into much more detail on this when I actually teach the method, but I want for any given topic, like if you had 5 things that you talked about over and over again, because that's just who you are, right? Like I like cooking, right? So cooking is one of my topics, cooking and recipes, and like the girls got to eat, right? So
Yes,
honestly,
and eat well.
yeah. So I did like pick one topic, have one in mind right now. You have one? Okay, good. So that topic that that just came to mind for you of something that you like to talk about that just has to do with you as a person, not your business, you as a person. Okay. Ask yourself, how could I educate people on this topic? How could I entertain people with this topic? How might I inspire people with this topic? Right? So like my cooking example, of course, educating, I could share a specific recipe and be like, hey, my family's been loving this right now, right? That would be education. Or I could do a live video of like, hey, I want to show you guys how I make my favorite blah, 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 right?
Yes.
Educate. Entertain might be a funny story about how I tried cooking something new and it started smoking and we set off the smoke alarm and like storytelling time, right?
Okay.
Or I might inspire someone by talking about my journey towards living a healthier life and learning to cook better and eat better. And right, I could inspire people to like live a healthier life by
Sure.
sharing a story in that way. And that's just like, we just zeroed in on one item, right? For me, it was food. But even then, just looking at it with those three ideas overlaid on top, educate, entertain, inspire, right away, we came up with 3 content ideas. So now imagine taking 3 to 5 personal brand topics and asking yourself that question for all of them. Boom, pretty soon you have a big library of content ideas.
Nice.
Okay. Then what I want you to do when it comes to your offers, We're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of like overlay, like I call it, put a lens over top of it. Like you're looking through it through, instead of rose-colored glasses, it'll be content-colored glasses, right? So,
Yes.
so think about a particular offer that you would love to promote for your business. Okay. It could be the business opportunity. It could be one of the products, whatever you want, but pick an offer, one single offer. And then I want you to ask yourself, what are some of the problems or pain points people might be experiencing related to that particular product or offer? Then I want you to like brainstorm a list, like write them all down. The more problems or pain points you can think of, the better. Okay. And then I want you to think of what are some of the benefits that people want in that space that they don't currently have. It's like their wish list, right? What's their wish list? What do they wish their world was like? Like, hey, right now I have all these problems, but I wish it was more like this over here. What's their wish list? What do they want it to be more like? And then when it comes to that particular offer that you have in mind, what are some objections that people might have? Some things that might be getting in the way, preventing them from maybe knowing it exists at all, or maybe they know it exists, but it's preventing them from trying it. And so problems, benefits, and objections, that's your lens that you put over top of your offer. Okay. And so all of a sudden you have all these ideas of things to talk about, right? And imagine taking each of those ideas and assigning one to each day on the calendar and creating a content calendar for yourself. All of a sudden you have tons of ideas. You're never left sitting there staring at your phone going, oh God, what do I post today? You know exactly what to post, right?
Nice.
And so then, you know, I take you through a process where I'll teach you how to turn one single video into 30 pieces of content across 9 platforms in only 5 days.
Whoa, that's
So
huge.
all of a sudden, right, we go from I have nothing to post to almost like I have too much to post. Where do I fit it all in?
Wow.
And the magic of it is it's not just like sales post after sales post after sales post. It's a mix of offers and personally branded topics. So that when people, every time they see that you've made a post or that you're going live, they're like, man, their stuff is always so interesting. I got to tune in for this. Like they can't wait. Then you start getting more engagement. And that's when you start getting people on your posts going, okay, I want to know more about this. Or, hey, can you send me the information? Or, hey, where can I learn about this? Or like, what was that thing you were talking about? Right? Like that's what we want to create.
Yes.
So I realize I just rambled on that, but like, hopefully that's helpful.
No,
Helpful to you
that's
guys.
really good. So you talked about systematizing.
Mhm.
So there's something that you shared also, and not on the front end of this about batching and automating. How does that
Yeah.
play does this come into play when you get the video creation or
Yeah,
how?
great question. So like coming up with the ideas, the exercise we did just now for the ideas, that's what I would call batching, right? So if you sit down and you set aside a half an hour to an hour and you just crank out ideas, like all you're doing is an idea creation mode, right? You're laying those lenses of ways to look at, entertain, educate, inspire over each of your 3 to 5 brand topics. And you just sit down and all you're doing for that hour is thinking about ideas, right? That's called batching. You're doing like similar activities all together in a period of time.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm creating the idea and then I move on to a separate thing and then a separate thing and then a separate thing. It's nothing but idea creation for like a whole hour.
Okay.
So that's what I would call batching. Then what I want you to do is take a single one of those ideas, right? Related to your offer specifically. Let's do it for your offer because we're here to make money, right? So take one of those offers that you want to talk about and a mix of those problems, benefits, and objections someone might have, and decide on a video that you're going to film. Okay, a live video where you could talk about that, right? Because in this video, we want people raising their hand saying, hey, more info, right? So you're going to come up with a video idea. where the automation comes in is once you film this video, there's a very specific method, there's a specific system you can use to turn that video into the 30 pieces of content using some automation tools.
Okay.
Okay. And so it's probably, I mean, it's probably too deep for us to get into every detail of that today.
Sure.
But it all starts with video. And the magic of video is that it's so rich. Video is the key to repurposing and multiplying content. So for example, one of the things I teach, the video obviously is in and of itself, it's a video, right? That you could post it on Facebook, you could download it and post it on YouTube, you could post it, all over the place. Actually, even Pinterest takes little video clips now. You can take pieces of it and put it on TikTok. You can take pieces and put it on an Instagram reel, right? That's the magic of video. But also what you can do, you can look through everything you talked about in your video, and you can grab a few little quotes and you can make some quote images that you can share on social media.
So you can customize it to the platforms.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. And then another thing you can do, let's say that you download that video and you grab out like a 15-second piece of it where you're like, yeah, so the secret, right? The secret to getting the result you want is, and then all of a sudden it cuts off and it says, to see the whole video, go to my YouTube channel or visit my blog or, right, come to my private Facebook group.
Nice.
So I call that a teaser video.
I love it.
Give people a little taste and then tell them they have to go to your Facebook group to get the whole shebang, if you will. So you can make quote images, you can make teaser videos, you can actually create a transcript. Like you can upload your video to a web platform, it'll spit out a transcript, copy and paste that transcript, you now have a blog like that.
Wow.
Like boom, done.
Whoa.
There's so much you can do. And then, like pair little pieces of that transcript, like copy and paste just small parts of it. You probably have 15 or 20 posts already written just from the transcript of what you said in your video.
So we don't need to start this thing all over.
No. So just copy and paste little pieces of what you said, pair it with a cute selfie of you or a picture of you with your kids or with your dog or whatever you got going on. And boom, you probably have a dozen posts already written from that video if you just download the transcript.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah.
So I imagine that creating content this way has really is a great way to put a lot of time back in our productivity.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And
so go ahead.
I was just going to say, when we streamline and systematize and batch like that, it opens up more time that you can either spend with your family, right? If you've been feeling like you've been overworked, or it opens up more time that you can then authentically connect with all the people who are raising their hands saying, hey, give me more info. So yeah.
That's absolutely excellent. Excellent. So we have this new method of creating content. So there is obviously a process, like you said, we can't get, into all of it here, but tell us about some of the results. And I think you may have already said, in your delivery, what kind of results have you seen on the back end since you've started using this method?
Yeah. So actually, since I started using and teaching this method, it's really crazy how much momentum it can build for you. So I started using and teaching this method, and I was feeding 9 platforms at once with content. And I built such an audience so quickly and a client base so quickly that I brought in just shy of 6 figures in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Using this this method. And in fact,
I note this.
I have so many clients and customers now that I'm busy like serving, that actually if you go out onto my social media platforms and take a look, I haven't even put any content on my Instagram for weeks because I'm so busy servicing all the new clients I have that I don't even need to use social media anymore. I mean, I do because like I love it, but it almost worked too well.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So that moves you right out of productivity into service, which is where you want to be. You
Yeah.
want to be hands-on with your clients, with your customers. And
Yeah.
I think that this is a great, great tool that you have. Guys, I'm hoping that you are allowing the wheels to churn here. You don't have to, struggle with the content on a day-to-day basis. We have a method here that Adrienne is willing to share with you. Adrienne, how do we get access to this? You actually have a free gift
I do.
for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So for free, I mean, it just for attending here and being a part of this amazing event that Mary's put on, as a free gift, I will share with you guys the full details of the content multiplier method. And I get pretty deep into not just explaining what to do, but how to do it. I screen share with you. I show you what to click on, what to do, and I show you how to turn that one video into 30 pieces of content across 9 platforms in 5 days in a free challenge. Okay. And so there will be a link or a button somewhere nearby that you can click on where you can sign up for the next free challenge that I'm running in my Facebook group where I teach people how to do this. And so you guys are welcome to join. It's always a super fun one. And a lot of times, by the time we've even finished the challenge, a lot of people have multiple months of content planned out, and they've already filmed their first video and they're already starting to multiply content. So it's super fun, and you guys are more than welcome to join.
All right, guys, we'll get you a link so you can claim access to your free access to the content method that's being offered from Adrienne. Guys, you have the information. I hope your appetites have been whet. This is great information. Start using some of it right away. Adrienne, thank you so much for your time. Where else can we find you on social media? What other platforms?
Yeah. So I'm, of course, I have a Facebook business page. You can find me on Magnetic Marketers, it's called. I'm also on Instagram, Strategies to Scale. You can find me, I'm starting to get into TikTok. Kind of addicted to TikTok, if I'll admit. I'm on there as Adrienne Hill, and yeah, I have a Pinterest that I'm starting up now as well, simply because when you have that amount of content, it's actually easy to feed all these platforms. So,
all right, Pinterest
kind of everywhere,
folks. You guys. Very, very good. Beautiful dog there, Adrienne. It's hard to keep my eyes off of it.
He wants to say hi. This is Ollie.
Ollie, hi. All right, folks, you got a bonus piece of video here with Ollie. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Bye, Adrienne. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today on Decoding Network Marketing, the non-sleaze way to build your business, your teams, and generate buyers beyond your family and friends. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Impactful Entrepreneurs Show with Adrienne Hill, where we support coaches, course creators, and network and affiliate marketers to translate their big picture vision into actionable plans to build out their business efficiently. If you love our show, we invite you to visit buildalifebydesign.com to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover more helpful resources. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share. Thank you for listening.